when I get two computers? When I get two? Hello there, CriterioNate here, and sober. You try writing an intro to this. Number 461, David Lean's Hobson's Choice. 1954, 108 minutes, black and white monaural, one throwing through blah blah blah. Nobody cares about the aspect ratio. Only Eclipser cares about the aspect ratio. Great movie, really good movie. Good stuff. Starring the ever popular Charles Laughton as Henry Hobson, who is a bootmaker. He runs a shoe shop, a boot shop. And it's got that David Lean touch through and through. It's definitely, I think, one of Lean's funniest movies. I can't remember every movie we've seen. I know we've seen Great Expectations. I know we've seen Oliver Twist, and I know there have been a couple others, and I'm sure there's some coming up. But anyway, this Charles Laughton. It's a very, very funny role, and I guess I was kind of just taken aback by how funny it would be, how physically funny it would be. I always, interpreted David Lean's movies as it's very high on dialogue, yes, but the physical humor in this movie is just took me a little off guard. Anyway, Henry Hobson, he's the father. He has these 3 daughters who work in the shop with him, and one of them, is it Elizabeth? No, I don't remember. Which one is it? Maggie is the oldest, and his 2 younger daughters, Alice and Vicky. Vicky, by the way, played by Prunella Scales, a very young Prunella Scales, who I know as Sybil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers. So it was a trip to see her, looking so young. He wants to get them married off. And whereas Maggie, being 30, is too old to get married, and so she's really upset by this, by her father saying, "Oh, you're too old." That she, plans to leave her shop and start her own shop and get herself, a man and make a living for herself. And so she ends up seducing his prize bootmaker, Mr. William Mossop, played by John Mills, and he just they work in the basement and you never really see them, and so she invites him up and they talk and they end up falling in love after a long period of time, and Maggie really gives William a courage and confidence to run his own shop. And meanwhile, Hobson, Henry ends up going bankrupt or losing money on the deal because he lost his prize bootmaker, and so a big part of it is Henry always comes home drunk or really lit up, and so that's where a lot of the humor comes from, is Henry seeing double at the bar, like stumbling around and all that. At one point he falls into the Mossop's hay mill or something like that. And so there's a good sense of humor to it, and that's basically all I'll tell you about the movie. It's a very, very funny movie. It's also got a lot of lean touches. If you like, his other movies, such as, which ones are they? Let's go and look them up here. Great Expectations. Oh, Summertime. I forgot all about that one. In fact, that might have been his next movie. Well, of course I forgot. A Brief Encounter. Yeah. Oh gosh. That's not it yet. We're not done with David Lean yet. Still got the Noel Coward series we'll do in like 2 years. And yeah, that's about it. So that'll be it. Anyway, back to Hobson's Choice. Again, a very, very funny movie. A very kind of strong movie, about just finding the confidence to go out and, stick up to someone who's putting you down and all that. It's really good stuff, I thought, had a really surprising level of humor that I don't think I've seen in any of his other films. Brief Encounter being more or less a a romantic drama. Great Expectations and Oliver Twist having bits of humor here and there, especially Oliver Twist. The Hobson's Choice is more or less a straightforward kind of comedy, more or less a straightforward comedy, with a romantic comedy, if you will. And yeah, that's basically it. The only other thing I'll say is one other thing I'll note that I really liked about this movie was seeing John Laurie. He plays the doctor. At one point, Hobson starts seeing these visions, like he sees these giant flies, and that was another thing that really surprised me, that I was really kind of dug about this movie, was seeing the special effects that were used, such as the double exposure for Hobson's hallucinations, and all the special effects like the flies and things like that, all the things he sees. And I thought that was really different compared to David Lean's other movies. So again, I like this one, and I'm definitely going to pick it up. Anyway, John Laurie, he eventually calls a doctor, and he's played by John Laurie. And for those of you who don't know, John Laurie was one of the stars of one of my favorite British comedies, Dad's Army. One of the most popular. He played a Private Fraser. And so in seeing him, this was about 14, 15 years before he played the role. And so it was a really trip to see him a little younger, but still older, because obviously in Dad's Army he plays an generally older private in the Army, or in the Home Guard. And so that was really cool to see. I always love seeing, these actors that I know from other shows, starring in other shows, playing smaller roles in other movies, such as seeing Sid James in, I think it was This Sporting Life? I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, seeing him in one of the movies we saw earlier, and that was a really, those little things I love. So anyway, definitely going to pick this one up for those reasons, and because again, the movie is it's a really funny movie, and I think Charles Laughton's character he's a blowhard, but he's a lovable blowhard, And John Mills plays his character, I love his evolution from a feeble, kind of simple-minded kind of guy to this, hey, here we are, I think one of the another funny scene, which I'll tell you, this might be a bit of a spoiler, is when they get married and he goes to bed with her for the first time. It's like he kind of dawdles around, he kind of takes his clothes off, and then he kind of marches into the bedroom, when he's ready, and that was again very funny, very cute. Anyway, Hobson's Choice, a really, really funny movie, and one that I'm going to pick up. I don't think there's a Blu-ray for this one. Maybe the commenters will tell me, but if it is, I'll pick it up. If not, DVD. Anyway, great movie. I can't say anything more to that. Yeah. So supplements. Apart from commentary, the other big thing is a documentary about Charles Laughton from 1978 called The Hollywood Greats, and it's from the BBC, and it's just basically just talking about the life of Charles Laughton, interviews with his wife Elsa, or I think it's Elsa Lancaster, I think was her name, and his manager and his brother, and they show clips from those movies, including the private life of Henry VIII, which the Eclipser will be doing after the next series, after his next series, which is the next one after that is Alexander Korda's Private Lives. And so you'll see a little more Charles Laughton on this page. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a week or two. So anyway, and the trailer. So that's it for this Hobson's Choice A. Go check this one out. It's pretty good. So anyway, that's it for today. I watched this actually last night because I was trying to catch up. I know I've been slacking, and I'm starting to wonder if I should even try and even tell you when I'm going to do these. Just give you more and more of a rough estimate, because obviously life's getting in the way right now, and it's hard to kind of find time to do these sometimes right now. But I do want to get caught up because I want to be done. We're going into the summer at this point, but we have a chance to like get closer and closer, this week. I mean, we're already halfway through. That's a great thing. And it's just now the end of April as I'm filming this, so we should be done, fingers crossed, by the end of June. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's it for today. So still got some time tonight. So the last Metro is next. I'll start watching this. I'll knock this one out as soon as while this is uploading, and you'll see it a little later tonight. If not tomorrow, again, maybe it might be too late to do a review, so I may end up having to do it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. And then after that, we will probably, I'm still not sure. We're either going to do Il Generale del Rovere, or we will do, we'll get the Eclipser in here, and we'll do the 4-pack, the Travels with Hiroshi Shimizu. Got this one, Japanese Girl at the Harbor, Mr. Thank You, Reserves and a Woman, and Oriental Hairpin. Probably we're going to go ahead and do these first, because these have to go back sooner than this one. This one I can renew a couple times. So we'll get that done over the next few days. Again, more than likely the Eclipser, I'm trying to get the Eclipser to do 2 a day, so that way we'll get to this one probably on, I would say, yeah, we'll get to this one on Tuesday. But again, I'm not sure right now. I'm actually going to try and get him to do all 4 of these tomorrow or Monday, because that way we can do this one, and because we try to get caught up, because I actually don't, I'm going to be busy next week, and so while I have movies, I can't do them. So, but the week after, I've got plenty of time, so I'll try to get some movies done. And speaking of the movies we have, we've got some right here. We got Danton, Andre Vida, some more Kurosawa, Dodes Kaiden, and Dodes Kaden, I think maybe. Empire of Passion. And by the way, I found a copy of In the Realm of the Senses. Whoopee. So hopefully that'll be in Oakland. Got the hookup, so that'll be coming in hopefully next week. And we'll get to that whenever I can. Anyway, and I went ahead and put a hold on The Hit and Wise Blood, which are after the 2 after that. And then after that, we'll probably hit the next Eclipse series, the Alexander Corda's Private Lives, and then and I put a hold on actually after Empire Passion is Science is Fiction, 23 films by Jean, what's his name, Jean Painleve, 23 films by Jean Painleve. So yeah, so we got those. Then The Hit, Wise Blood, and then we'll get to Alexander Corda's Private Lives with the Eclipser, and so on and so forth. So, and that's it for me. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't drink and walk, I guess. And don't tell your daughter. And 30 is not too old to get married. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all a little later for the Ultra Foe in the form of the last Metro. And until then, goodbye.